because I managed to do that.
Managed to win with the most popular deck. How did you
managed
do
to
it?
lose with the most
Oh,
popular deck.
right.
That's why the talent. That's where the talent lies. It's in doing the things that others cannot. All right. Oh wow, this just in.
Ghost Bomb took it 2-0.
Took it 2-0. So we have all our semifinals filled out now. I'm interested to see what the bottom end of the semifinals bracket will be running because we've kind of seen both of these players on the top end, Skysama, and we could go ahead and take a look at how the brackets have shaped out now once more before the game starts here very shortly. We've seen Skysama and Potwasher. We've seen a little bit of Mango, but Ghost Bomb is the last unknown here, so he might be holding a very interesting deck.
Definitely.
So, without further ado, let's jump in next to the semifinals of the NGE Shadowverse Open. These players here are already in the prizing, right? They've already gotten at least 5,000 red vials.
Definitely.
They have the chance to push up to 30,000 for first place. The first weekly champion of the NGE Shadowverse Open is about to be crowned. Who will it be?
You definitely want to be the first weekly champion. No one else is going to be able to claim that. Someone else, the second or the third, not as cool as being the first weekly champion.
Though, to be fair, nobody else can also be the second weekly champion. There's not going to be another second weekly champion.
Nowhere near as cool as first, in my book.
You're right.
Because it's first.
It's first. You were there. You were the trendsetter, as they would say. All right, Dragoncraft against Shadowcraft here. Fairly good hand, I feel like, on the side of the Dragoncraft player. He's got 2, he's got 3, he's got some removal.
Just interesting that Skysama has the Dragon's Breath in his deck. 2, I'm assuming he's got 3. Typically, with this neutral ramp, we don't normally see many one-cost cards at all. If at all, there might be an Ivory Dragon to have the ability to draw a card later in the game, but he's opting for this cheap early clear, which I think is going to serve him well against the Shadowcraft deck. So we'll see how that plays out.
Certainly been able to make good use of it. Pumping himself up to 4 meant that he could play the Blazing Breath as well as Iowa, and already kind of reaping the benefits of the ramp here.
Definitely. He's definitely going to want to save that Zell for the later combos with Ouroboros or Sahakuya with Bahamut. We've seen that devastate earlier in the series. I believe it was Skysama that actually made that play, if I'm remembering correctly. So we'll see if we can do it again here. We've got a Shadow Reaper in the hand of Potwasher, as well as another Goblin.
What are you hiding inside?
There it is. Prince Catacomb comes out. And that was largely because I think it's just an awkward moment to commit the other cards. I mean, if you play the Goblin, you're leaking a lot of play points. Instead, Prince Catacomb coming down can spend up to 0 or spend down to 0. Even though there aren't as many followers on the board as you would have liked, I feel.
Definitely. Potwasher is sitting on a little Soul Squasher, going to be able to destroy an Evolved Follower come turn 5 for Skysama. Although on turn 5, he'll have 6 Play Orbs. If Potwasher does not decide to trade Catacombs into the Aelia, don't think that would be the option in this case.
Yeah, to give your opponent 7 points. I mean, he doesn't really have a card on hand right now, but he could draw into one that could utilize that. And certainly, Breath of the Salamander. He is
Good real Archer. He's going to give him the Play Orb. I guess he wants to keep the board clear as much as he can.
Yeah, he's going to be able to wipe out that Shadow Reaper. The big thing about this scenario is there's actually a second Shadow Reaper in store, and so I could definitely see a situation where you've used your Breath of the Salamander, and we know that Skysama doesn't have any more AoE removal in hand. That Shadow Reaper could come into play. It is a little bit late for it, though. We're getting into kind of the late stages, at least for Dragoncraft. It's up to 7 play points. Going to be 8. So I don't think the Shadow Reaper is necessarily that useful, especially because you need to start being concerned for how much damage you're going to take to face by Storm.
Right, come turn 9, turn 10.
Oh my god.
What great board clear. What a Breath of the Salamander, one of the staple cards in any Dragoncraft deck. Really getting its use in this game.
Yeah, that feels...
bringing us closer and closer to turn 10 for that evolved Genesis Dragon. Skysama hasn't used a single one of his Evolve points. That's huge. Whereas Potwasher has used both of them.
Yeah, Storm is going to be real damaging here. Oh man, he has the Unicorn Dancer as well. You really want to remove that Unicorn Dancer, but you have to push through the ward, so you're going to either have to use some kind of removal, maybe a zombie party kind of thing.
I can be graceful too.
There it is, trading with the skeleton. There it is. 7-3 zombies. People showed up.
And an evolved zombie, 4/4, not enough to take out the Rahab, not worth evolving and attacking into it.
Oh my god.
But this is going to be...
So much damage coming down the barrel here. 14 at the most.
Yes, if he decides to evolve the Genesis Dragon. But if he evolves, that's a perfect prime target for Little Soul Squasher.
Oh, yep. I feel like being patient there was kind of the better option, but he could always just draw into another Storm option in the closing
Yeah, we have
game
to
out.
remember that. Skysama cannot see the hand of Potwasher. I think evolving it was a right decision. There's no way he could have known that that card was
Especially
in
the right decision to evolve the Genesis Dragon rather than the Ward.
hand.
Because the Ward gets taken down and you open yourself up to possibly taking a lot more damage to the face.
Right, the Ward, the follower with Ward is the obvious target. So by evolving the other follower, you create 2 prime targets.
What a big play for Potwasher, and puts himself, even in terms of health, trying to draw into options. Oh my god, the Grimner. No. Gonna play the Rahab. Will that be enough? It all depends on this draw here. God, Kerberos can buff up cards.
Time to go a little wild. It's the pitch
Amy.
for you.
There it is, and gonna be able to trade with a little Soul Squasher. 2, 4,
That's-
6, 8.
Oh, so close, but still he's got one more turn. But Grimnir is going to be coming out next turn, clearing the board effectively.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh my god!
that's
one
5 damage.
off.
It's not a perfect move.
Oh no. All right.
Potwasher's going to be left with 2 health.
So I'm gonna flip. Oh, but it's Ward. You have to push through the
It could be a Cerberus that he draws, and that would end the game.
or a Dance of Death. Ah! Ah!
Oh my gosh. I wasn't counting his shadows. He's got enough. He's got enough. That's going to be Potwasher 1-0.
my god! Oh my god! I
There-
need therapy.
Victory is a testament.
I need therapy.
There were a lot of good options that Potwasher could have drawn. And that just and the ghosts just happened to be one of them.
I need to talk about what happened. I feel like I feel very uncomfortable about what just occurred on screen. There are feelings that I need to tap into.
So many
and
emotions coming
access.
up.
I don't even know what to do with myself right now. Oh my god. Oh my god, Potwasher.
What a game. Yeah, wow.
And you know, this is the second time he's come from a place where it's a very close game. He's on the verge of actually being defeated, one turn away, and then he plays the game-winning maneuver. So this time, in even more incredible fashion than his fours, because on the fours he was actually sitting on that combo for a while.
Yeah.
In this situation, he just, here you go.
Drew the right card.
Here's the golden ticket. Take you down to the chocolate factory.
1-0 in the favor of Potwasher against Skysama. Will this be it? Potwasher, if he wins this, will advance to the finals and have a chance at winning those sweet, sweet 30,000 vials. Or will Skysama answer back and bring it 1-1?
Here comes neutral. Imperial Strix. He threw it away. He threw away the Strix.
That's such a good early card.
He threw away the Strix.
It had a huge effect earlier in the tournament in the round of 16 that we saw.
I don't know what option Skysama was looking for instead, but we're not going to see Strix quite yet. Ichter in hand. Ichter?
Ishtar.
Ishtar.
Ishtar. I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced. That's how I would pronounce it. I also don't speak ancient Egyptian.
2 cards by turn 2. Turn 3, going to have a pretty beefy Ancient Elf. It's looking pretty good. Prince Catacomb on turn 3 play is also not bad for Skysama. He's going to be able to weaken the Ancient Elf just a little more. Do you still play the Ancient Elf here? Face with Fairy Ancient Elf, or do you try to get a few more followers on the board and save your ward for a situation where you think more damage is going to be coming down the road.
think
He got
having-
his Strix again. I didn't even notice.
I think having the ward on the field is going to serve him more, especially a 3/4 ward. With all the little followers, the skeletons,
Yeah.
and such, they're going to have to trade against
Evolve isn't even coming as an option for Skysama for a little while, so he certainly can't do it this turn. And now Evolve is available for Potwasher. It's going to be really tough for him to kind of take back board control. He has Dance of Death in hand, and so that's going to be helpful in certain ways.
it. But would you Dance of Death as opposed to Lyrial Archer when you have an evolve? When you have your first evolve point to spend on turn 5?
Wow, the early Roach as well. He's going really aggro right now. Potwasher.
Really does not want that Styx to live any longer.
There it is. With the Evolve. Ancient Elf gonna
Clearing the
take down
board,
all the
interesting. When he
skeletons.
could have gone face for 8 damage, he decided to clear the board. Very interesting play, but
Got
effective
Elf Queen in
nonetheless.
hand. And there's a Nature's Guidance, so it actually opens up an opportunity for him to maybe pursue Roach. He can get a 0 drop through Fina, and maybe that'll fish out the Roach.
Fina, of course, a great card to have right on turn 5. Whether you evolve second or evolve first, Fina turn 5 is a great play.
There it is. Yep. Fina plus the Evolve, Goblin Mage put in hand now. Gonna play the Goblin Mage immediately, gets the Roach.
Really wants to have as many followers on his side of the board as he can at this point in the game. Normally, you might want to save the Goblin Mage for a Roach combo later in, but I think in this instance, he knows the pressure is on. He knows that Shadowcraft is ramping up and going to put on the aggression here soon.
Oh, this is an interesting situation where actually Skysama can hit face. He's gonna go ahead and use Mimi, take down Fina, evolve Cerberus, rush the Goblin Mage, and then do 4 to face.
Definitely shifting the game in the favor of Skysama, at least in terms of health.
8 shadows though, and the Elf Queen is just sitting there.
That's going to come in big come next turn, turn 7 for Potwasher.
Another 0 drop here and playing it immediately again. Fishing out an Elf Child. Could, I mean, do you roll a dice here?
There it
Got
goes,
him.
50-50.
Got him.
Hold my breath for that one. Whew.
No problem. All right.
You've got 8 shadows. That's at least... I'm just going to wait and see. I don't want to do the math in my head. I'm lazy. It's 2 zombies. I suppose I could have figured that one out.
It's pretty good board clear. I could have figured that one out.
Could have, but didn't.
Oh, man.
Trading this the 4/2 zombie into the Goblin Mage does not seem like...
The ideal play.
But
Giving yourself board space,
definitely...
I think, depending on what Glimmering Wings draws, well, you don't really want to swing. You don't want to spend stuff, but I do think that you want to draw or Elf Queen. Not really sure what the best way forward here for Elf is, but Potwasher definitely needs to think about how he's going to get rid of this board here. Do you swing? He trades the Elf Child.
Electing to not use the Elf Queen. He's still sitting at 9 health.
Okay.
Coco is going to be able to give Cerberus an extra
7.
2 damage. That's going to be game ending right
Oh
there.
my god, got the Dance of Death. Yep. Oh man.
Man.
Took the risk too. I mean, 11 shadows. So there was actually a lot of damage on the board if he didn't Snowman.
Do you think that Elf Queen would have saved Potwasher?
You know, a curious situation. I believe the damage was it 7 and 5 on the board, and then he Snowman the 5. I can't. remember
They
which
were
one
at
it
both
was.
at 5 and 5.
It was a 5 and 5.
Yeah,
Okay, that would make a
Ishtar
lot more
and the
sense.
evolved Cerberus.
Yeah, so he Snowman 1. So the big thing is if you had played Elf Queen, you would have gone to 19 health. I mean, it certainly would have let you live 1 turn, but the real question is, does it actually put you ahead, or is it just extending the time it takes for you to die?
Right.
So,
Death by 1,000 cuts or going out in a blaze of glory.
All right. Well, into the final game.
Before Dark Dragoon. ruler of the skies.
of this particular
Time for me
match
to
here.
prove myself.
Potwasher and Skysama, these players are fighting to see who can move on to first or second place.
Skysama able to answer really well.
Oh boy, oh boy. Double Elf Child. The early Roche is actually not super fantastic, just because typically you're not just going to want to play a Roach.
Right. And in the hand of Skysama, we have a perfect 2-3-4 drop of cards that he has. Unicorn Dancer into Grimnir into Rahab. Really great play options. No ramp
Easy.
available, which is not ideal, obviously, but the 2 Elf Child's going to be able to clear out.
Good patience on
Unicorn Dancer.
Potwasher's part. Didn't play a turn 1. Just let the turn 2 come. Saw the Unica drop. Double Elf Child. Feeling pretty good.
Still no ramp in the hand of Skysama.
It's dangerous because there's some very strong early options here for Potwasher. With Ancient Elf coming, bouncing the 2 Elf Childs means that you again have that removal.
Man, it's almost like Skysama could see the hand. He knew that the Ancient Elf was coming turn 3. Talk about a lesser player might have just played the Grimnir. Okay, I'll get a ward. That'll be good. And then Ancient Elf would have come out. Oh my gosh. Okay, now you got to deal with that. But a really great choice. Knowing what a Forestcraft deck is capable of with that turn 3 Ancient Elf, being able to clear the board.
He's going to opt to get more creatures on the board here, more followers on the board. Double Roach in hand for Potwasher as well. Oh, and he has the bounce. There's actually so much on the board for Potwasher right now. It's looking really good.
You're done for.
The journey continues.
That's the evolution. 7/6 for Ancient Elf, plus the fairy there. Any kind of face damage right now is really dangerous for Skysama. Oh my
and
god!
That's one cost-efficient Siegfried right there.
Oh my
man.
goodness.
That's got to feel good. Siegfried is such a great card, being able to destroy a damaged follower. Not a card we've seen today either.
This is probably the first situation where we see actually White Wolf waiting kind of on the sidelines to be spent here. And come turn 9, there's going to be real dangers. You get the 0-drop Silver Bolt, and then you got the double Roach play with the bounce. You can 20-0 somebody.
Absolutely.
You can definitely kill them in one turn.
That's the combo that made Forestcraft the top tier deck in the previous meta. So we'll see if this new meta neutral Ramp Dragon can stand up against that.
The Roach ability to give it +1 damage for each card played, so strong. And it's almost certainly always going to be strong. Double bounce as well. Turn 7, turn 8, turn 9 are going
That's
to be
right,
really
he drew a Second
dangerous.
Nature's Guidance.
Yep. How is he going to clear this board? Kind of inefficient to spend an Evolution Orb on it.
Right.
But you also don't really want to spend a Roach on it. The Elf Child itself is going to pull it down to 2 health, which means it's going to be 1 health after you trade your Elf.
It would be Potwasher's last evolve point. He'd get another damage, another 1 point of face damage for that extra fairy, keeping the fairy with evolve alive. Maybe that would be worth it, but
Wow, he's going to bounce.
I guess he wanted to draw that extra card. Can't
Yeah.
say that was not worth it. Not a bad move.
This ends here.
And he's going to evolve anyways.
So sparkly.
The interesting thing here is he's cleared the board, and that's well and good. Is there any opportunity where, oh, is he going to bounce the Roach here?
I don't know how I feel about that, using the Roach this early, because we know that the Ramp Dragon has so many opportunities to heal itself. Look, he just drew Sibyl, and he already had Draconic Fervor in hand.
I think one of the interesting things about this scenario is there wasn't actually, I mean, you look, there's Bahamut, there's Draconic Fervor. There wasn't really anything good to trade the White Wolf into, and maybe playing that Roach, try to put some pressure on the opponent, try to push out some cards that he may have had.
Right.
To see if there was any situation where Skysama would think, oh god, he's got a big Roach combo coming again, and I'm already pushed down to 16 health. You
But
know?
now, from that last turn, that's 1 Roach and 1 Nature's Guidance that he doesn't have.
It's Yeah, I feel like
And that was some healing that
It's-
Skysama was able to make use of.
it's way more worth it to get the Silver Bolt.
Come on, let's play.
I think that's really going to be what's going to win him the game. But
Mm.
he's
I see
one
what you're
turn
saying.
away. We'll see. We'll see. He's one turn away. And he's having to scramble. Spends a second Nature's Guidance as well. The timing was not quite right. The draw,
Gimme.
the draw on the Sybil was just at the exact perfect time. Restoring health as well was insane value in this scenario because really, you're just trying to keep yourself out of that kill zone.
Right, absolutely. And he still has Draconic Fervor in his hand if he needs an extra draw, too.
Almost
Come
come
this
to
turn.
an end.
Mhm.
Draw some cards, maybe get some healing, so that next turn the Bahamut can come out.
This is tough. There's still nothing for the White Wolf to kill now. Because he was unwilling to leave the Sybil up, which I can't blame him for. 6 damage? Just letting that rock? That's not good.
And now White Wolf, you're right, has nothing to trade against. Still a presence on the board that Skysama is going to have to deal with it. If he could banish it, that would be excellent.
I don't think that's going to be the case, but still it's going to be one turn away from actually happening. If he plays, for example, the Ouroboros, he's going to actually have to physically swing the White Wolf into it. Bahamut is going to destroy it, so that's not going to be great.
Right. He's got to know that the Silver Bolt is coming. That's for sure. Draconic Fervor, getting 3 health back, would help mitigate some of that damage. I think those health points are going to come in absolutely crucial. And he doesn't have the hand that I think he wants, and I think drawing the cards would be wonderful. But still, he doesn't have anything else to play after Draconic Fervor, and the White Wolf will be able to go for 4 damage right to face. Tough decision, tough decision.
There it is. He's already spent all the roaches here. There could have been a situation where swing 4 to the face, and if you had bounces, but he had to spend all those resources in a situation where he wasn't able to really swing lethal. You're finally at that point where there's a lot of play
You're an
points.
intruder. You're done for.
There it is. Involving the White Wolf. The ward is going to be very useful in helping him live for 1 extra turn.
Interesting choice to evolve the White Wolf and go for face there rather than trading it into Ouroboros. I guess he knew that having a ward, he's safe from the direct attack. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
And by keeping Ouroboros on the field, he's not being able to heal itself for 3 damage.
Mm-hmm. Definitely a good decision, I think, on Potwasher's side, and definitely towing the line between what is really... I mean, you're kind of incentivizing as well Skysama to remove that White Wolf because you don't want to kill it, but it's doing 6 damage to you.
And 1 Silver Bolt.
And the thing is, he has Jungle Warden in hand. So,
1 Silver Bolt and a decent attack to face is all it takes to close this game out now.
there it is. It's over. He's got the Jungle Warden and a Silver Bolt. There it is.
8 damage, wow.
Jungle Warden. Jungle Warden Silver Bolt. And we talked about this before,
Victory is a test
how
of
the
sword
new Silver
strength.
Bolt White Wolf decks were kind of incorporating a lot of these new cards. Aerin, again, that extra evolution orb, super helpful. Got the Jungle Warden for the Storm, as well as White Wolf. And really, that was a quintessential moment where it was like, Aerin was going to help tide you over to build yourself the opportunity to get White Wolf out on the field.
Right, we were talking about the Roach combo, which came in a way, but it was for board clear earlier in the game when we thought the Roach combo